Now let's talk about when to conduct research. You want to conduct research before updating or changing your website, and try to do this as early and as often as possible. Research helps you understand your audience. It helps you to optimize your site. It helps you to increase your sales. It helps you to improve your products. It helps you to improve your branding. It helps you to improve your positioning. Research helps you aim your arrow before you fire. So make sure you do this early and often. So specifically, when do you want to conduct research? You want to do it before you kick off an optimization project. So if you're going to optimize for conversions, go through and do your research and understand what the prospect's pain points are. What are their unanswered questions? What are their concerns? And then you can start to address them during your project. Same thing for website redesigns. You don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And this happens all the time. When Darcy and I were consultants, we used to see clients that would want to go out and redesign their entire website. And we'd say, look, you have 5 or 6 elements in there that are probably driving the majority of your sales. They're answering those questions that prospects have, or it's a very easy to use interface for people. And with your website redesign, you might actually be going through, throwing the baby out with the bathwater and redesigning elements that people loved and was actually driving sales for you. So do your research ahead of time and make sure if you find that 90% of your users love a certain thing about your site, keep that when you do the redesign. Same thing when the market changes. For example, let's say you sell products that are low carb, and then there's the keto craze that comes along. All of a sudden, your product may not be low carb enough. So you need to start thinking about that. You need to talk to your market and understand, hey, maybe more people aren't buying because it's not low carb enough. And then you're going to need to start thinking about changing your offers as well as your product. Same thing with when your positioning changes. If you're going to change your position as part of your overall strategy, again, do your research and make sure that you're skating to where the puck is going and not to where it currently is. Same thing when you want to launch a new product or a new service. De-risk is the key word here. You want to talk to people before you launch the product, understand that it addresses an actual need that they have, solves a problem in a clear and straightforward way for them, and is something that they would be willing to pay for. Again, you can't just launch this stuff and find out. So do a bit of research ahead of time so you understand what they really want before you start building it. You can also do this whenever you can. In fact, a lot of people have asked me over the years, hey, Adam, how often should we be doing this type of research? And I say that at a minimum, you'd want to be doing this every 3 to 6 months. If you have a site that gets a ton of traffic, we're talking like 6-7 figures a month, then by all means, you should be having surveys on the website at all times. If you're adding hundreds of new customers every month, you could add them to an automated email survey. And that type of survey could continually get more feedback for you, and it helps you to monitor trends. So even if you're asking those same questions every month in, month out, you can start to spot any trends that are changing. So like with the example I said earlier, with the low carb, you could say, oh, I noticed only 1% of people said that they were worried about keto a year ago. But now all of a sudden, 20% of people are talking about it. This is something we need to be aware of. So conducting research is incredibly important. It helps you hit the mark earlier and more often, and it de-risks any of those big projects that you might be doing within your company.